Hi everyone, Soulsilver17 here. Let me show as usual that I own the pictures. Well, pictures made the thumbnail, non-paid video. So, here's the thing. This video kind of took me a while to make, and I have not uploaded any videos by the time I basically made this. But I do have basically 3 videos before this, and I'm gonna try to upload them, well, today or tomorrow. Just stuff was happening. Needed to get some stuff done in my life, and yeah, got it done. Now, where do I begin? Okay, first part, Darksiders 2. Why never Darksiders besides Asta that I stopped? Well, because 1, I want to try to go back to Asta, and 2, I'm still Echo Sands, or Gaster Sands basically. 1, I'm kind of trying to figure that one out a bit. Solo leveling 1 I do have, but I didn't like how it went. I kind of just deleted it. So, yeah, I'm also trying to watch all my videos. I keep constantly need to do that. So, yeah. Anyways, yeah. Back to this. What if? A few things are different. 1, Sakura Haruno. She's not even basically normal in this one. She's different. She's not adopted into basically, not adopted. She's not basically the actual biological child of basically her parents. She's adopted. She does know how due to a scroll that was telling her, and basically she found that out before graduating from basically becoming a genin, who's the actual parent of her. Everyone, you may all be like, what? Why? How? Huh? First time, I can basically see a lot of people be like, this just should not be possible, but A, it's what if, and 2, it's basically, that's how I thought it could be fun. Also, a little bit about the world Naruto. The world rebirthed, and the Shinto pantheon took over. The only ones that were left were basically the 4 Horsemen. War, Death, Fury, and the last brother, which Strider, I don't really know, but I think it starts with like famine or something. Yeah, so I can't remember the other brother. So I don't remember those 3: Fury, War, and basically Death. So I'm gonna say this: Death is the one who's been the busiest out of all of them. Everyone else, basically the other 3 Horsemen, were given basically tasks by Matarasu, Kami, and other basically beings to do certain work. So basically, they have paperwork and they're not going to be a part of this series. Just Death, which was turned into the Shinigami. So yeah. So, anyways, let's get this started. Hope you guys will enjoy this, and we're basically starting us off, wow, on the very first episode of Naruto. Well, and then basically night scene. So, let us begin. This is what if Naruto became Death. But you'll basically understand how he becomes him and everything. So yeah. Part 1, and here we go. Now, we all know how Naruto basically steals the Forbidden Scroll. He basically, saves Iruka from basically his traitor sensei, Mizuki. But in this one, Naruto doesn't save Iruka. Naruto basically, beats up basically Mizuki as, all the shadow clones poof away with him grinning, as Naruto just saying, I think I went a little bit overboard, Iruka-sensei, from the back of his head laughing. And then all of a sudden, basically, a massive shuriken hit the side of Naruto. Basically, sent him flying into a tree. As Iruka yells out, Naruto! as basically Mizuki just starts laughing as he jumps down from basically his position in the tree. He goes like, I can't believe it, that you stupid demon. You really think I will let basically someone like you defeat me? As Naruto is basically not dead because the Kyuubi's keep him alive long enough to hear all this. And basically Iruka's angry. He's basically getting up. He goes, he does yell out Mizuki and then, charges at basically him as Mizuki has basically a wicked, basically psychotic grin on his face. While Naruto's watching the fighting and him slowly dying, he goes, I can't be dying. I want to become Hokage. As that's when he does not hear no clashing no more, nothing of the sorts. But when he looks up, he sees time has frozen, as what appears in front of him, though, is someone with basically a white robe that's basically has holes in it, white hair and horns, and basically yellow eyes, while it's holding a basically knife in its mouth. As Naruto just thinks to himself, Shimigami? As before Naruto can think of anything more and try to say anything, the Shimigami will say, Uzumaki Naruto, I have a deal to give you. Which Naruto's blinking, he goes, what? As basically all of a sudden, as the Shimigami, says that, here's Naruto says that, basically Naruto sees the Shimigami smirk, and then all of a sudden, the Shimigami starts to glow. As Naruto is basically closing his eyes, and after the light show dies down, basically Naruto sees, death there. In his starting armor that he has in, when you start Darksiders 2. As Naruto's just blinking as he hears death. Basically goes like, it's been a while since I've been since I've been in this form of mine. So, kid, would you want to hear me out? Whereas Naruto just blinks and just nods slowly. Which Death just goes, good. I don't have the patience to basically hear you whine and complain. Which Naruto basically scowling at him, and Death just looks at him and goes like, not even caring, he goes like, look, I am the Shimigami. If you're wondering why I took on this form, this is my original form. I basically am, one being of four. This world that you know of basically was destroyed at one point and was recreated into what is today by the gods, the Shinto gods, basically. Materasu, Kami, Izanami, Susanoo. Yeah, they basically are the reason why your world's like this. Which Naruto's just blinking and he's confused. He goes, as Death just sighs, he goes, the world before had no ninjas, no powers of chakra, but it had angels and demons. And me, and my basically 2 brothers and 1 sister, the 4 horsemen of apocalypse. There was a council before that me and my siblings worked for, but they're dead. So, basically, because of that, we kind of cause a domino effect. Each one of my siblings and I, of what we've done, we keep on causing something to happen that basically had the world become closer to its destruction. So, at the end of basically of everything, the world was destroyed, and everything we knew, and we survived due to, as I said, the beings above want us around still. I was supposed to become Death, an actual, basically, being of death. not just my title or basically my status as a horseman. So I basically essentially became a god. Which Naruto's blinking. He goes, and due to that, I basically don't have much time to do what I usually would have done. And I need someone on the basically human realm, well, or in the living world, to basically do my task of what I basically would have done. Go out and basically get rid of basically problems that evolved around basically the supernatural for you. Well, for your sense. For me, it was just a minor annoyance. Which Naruto's just blinking more. And basically, Naruto was, actually trying to say something, but then Death's like, oh, yeah. He basically grabs the shuriken and rips it out of Naruto's side, and he falls down. Naruto's thinking he's gonna bleed to death, but then he goes like, okay, that hurts. That hurts a lot. And, oh wait, why can't I talk now? Give me a minute. Okay, sorry about that. Anyways, so, as Naruto's basically looking at his body, but, he doesn't, he basically sees the wound that he had is still there, but then Naruto was like, wait, how can I talk? As Death just casually points that finger at where Naruto's basically was, as Naruto sees his body is there. And there's basically, and Naruto's on the ground as he's just blinking as Death just says, this will be easier to hear what you have to say. As Naruto's just, kind of freaking out, he's like, so, you want me to, do what you do? Which Death just looks at him and goes like, no, I want you to become the Horseman of Death. Which Naruto just blinking goes, huh? Which he sighs and goes, look, my other siblings don't want to basically give their horseman title away to someone. But I have too much paperwork. More than my siblings. So I don't really can do my job as a horseman. So, I'm gonna make you the Horseman of Death, Naruto Uzumaki. Well, I can't say your other name, but that's for later. Whereas Naruto's just blinking, he goes like, oh, okay. Wait, then if I become the Horseman of Death, can I still learn jutsus? Well, this is my chakra? Which, Death is actually blinking, he goes like, smart kid. Well, for once in his life. Which Death goes, yes, you'll still be able to use chakra. But the fact is, I'm going to be giving you this mask I'm wearing at the moment. I don't really need it no more. Besides, it's more of a memento, a memory for me. Which Naruto nods solely to that. So, he goes, so what am I going to, if I do accept this offer, I become you? Well, this, I guess, which basically unknowingly Naruto has a, feeling that Death is smiling at him, and he just nods. He goes, yes, you become a Nephilim. He goes, a Nephilim? A Nephilim, a half demon and half angel. Which Naruto blinks, he goes, and, do I get, any cool abilities? He goes, superhuman strength, agility, durability, reflexes, and also because you have a Reaper form and you get, basically, my scythes. As then he just pulls out his dual scythes, basically, and then he puts them back on his side. He goes, oh, yes, yeah, basically also get, two of my companions, my horse Despair, and my crow Dust, but my horse is gonna be for later. Which Naruto was just blinking, he goes like, huh? What? Why? He goes, you have to earn it. Dust, my crow, basically, will be your guide, helper, companion, and basically guide you to certain places. I'll give you some missions to do, or he basically Dust will show you to a place with evil souls so you to kill. Which Naruto's like, huh? Evil souls? He goes, yes, people. He goes, wait, what? He goes, look, there's a lot of basically people in this world that deserves to kick the bucket, so to speak. Like Orochimaru. But I made a deal with him, sort of. And he's not on my list for now. And there's basically another person out there. But that's for later. So Naruto's like, so, how do I become you if I accept you? He was like, you just take my mask. I have to put on your actual body, so I have to put your soul back into your body. Which Naruto just nods slowly. He was, oh, and also you only have basically a few more minutes to basically think about it. Which Naruto just blinking. He goes like, huh? He goes, yes. I can only be here temporarily. I'm on a tight schedule here, kid. As he basically sees Death look at him, as Naruto was thinking about it, and he goes, so I come back to life, I become a Nephilim, and you said I would transform into you. If I take out the mask, do I come back to my regular form? He goes, yes, but you're still a Nephilim. He goes, okay. Oh, and one more thing. He goes, yeah? He goes, I'll be basically making you, or having some things be made for you, and given to you after you, let's say, impress me enough. Dust will also basically be sending me, basically, letters, and I will be able to basically, determine your progress and how I'm liking it. So I'll send you some armor pieces, or maybe give you a dungeon, or heck, basically even giving you some new weapons. You have to be very versatile, Uzumaki Naruto. Can't just be a one-trick pony. Which Naruto just nods slowly. He goes, so, do you accept it? Which Naruto, gulps and nods. He goes, good. Oh, by the way, since you accept it, and I, the Shimigami, was the one who basically sealed the Kyuubi no Kitsune, well, certainly everyone thinks it's basically just because of the fourth Hokage, but without me, he wouldn't be able to do it. So, you don't have to worry about the Kyuubi. The Kyuubi will be still a part of you, but you can call it more of a familiar now. Which Naruto's just blinking. He goes, wait, wait, what are you... As basically before anything, Naruto gets sent back into his body, as he basically can hear the Kyuubi goes like, no, I don't want to be this kid's stupid familiar. No, anything but that. As when Death takes off his mask, Naruto just, noticed that the whole entire basically mask was like eyes were yellow, and he basically can just see the eyes of Death. And he goes, now then, Namikaze Uzumaki Naruto. I, the Shimigami, make you the new Horseman of Death, my champion, my bringer of death in a way, and one day, if I ever so want to basically be relinquished of my godly status as the Shimigami, you will take my place. So, live long, hard, train basically to the best of your abilities, and for the love of all that is basically good in this world, get rid of the orange jumpsuit! As basically Death leaves. As the mask was already on Naruto, as before anything can happen, Naruto can't even think of anything, all of a sudden, basically, there's a scream out in pain as Iruka and Mizuki is stopping as they see this purple, greenish energy swirling around Naruto. As then, basically, after a few minutes, they start hearing like bones cracking, it sounds like, and something tearing, as Naruto keeps on screaming out in pain, as this is then red chakra starts to merge with it, of them with blue, with the basically purple and green energies. Which basically Ruko goes like, Naruto, as Mizuki's like, this ain't the demon, right? How can the demon have this much power? As then they basically see the shuriken flies downwards towards the ground and spins a little bit into it, going a little bit further away, basically towards Mizuki. A little further away from Naruto towards Mizuki, basically, spinning as it stops. As they're just like shocked, as when everything's said and done, after the green energy basically and the purple, blue, and red basically energy is gone, Naruto is now standing there, and he's looking like death, in a way, with the basically scythes and all. Pants basically were torn and changed. Basically, he's wearing boots now, and basically Naruto's hands look like basically Death's hands from Darksiders 2. So yeah. So, as Naruto's basically thinking, that hurt a lot, and as basically Naruto's looking at his hands, as he's basically just shocked by this. Then he's even seeing his arm, he's paler, and basically he sees black, his hair is black now, and he does feel his face, and it's basically a mask. As Mizuki goes like, what? That's not possible. You're a demon. You should have been 9 tails and all. What? As basically Naruto, when he just chuckles, he can hear his voice is different. He goes like, "Oh, Mizuki, Sensei Mizuki, thanks to you, well, I was given something by, I don't know how it's even possible, but lucky for me, Death didn't want me to die yet." As he basically grabs the 2 scythes that are on his, basically side of his legs, and then basically, they basically see him holding them, and Naruto's thinking, I have no idea what I'm doing. As then he can hear a mental voice, basically goes, since this is your first transformation, Lord Death thought it would be a good idea to allow you to, well, have access to basically his old moveset, and be proficient, be very proficient with it. For now, at least. After this, though, you have to work on it on your own. Oh, it's me, Dust, by the way. I can talk to you mentally. Which Naruto's thinking, which Dust just says, I'm talking to in your mind, you don't have to say it out loud, you just have to think it. Which Naruto's like, thank you, Dust? As Mizuki's like, what? You're tricking me, demon! As before anything can happen, all of a sudden they just see Mizuki basically stiffen because of basically a Zenbon. Yeah, Zenbon basically sticking from basically Mizuki's shoulder and then basically in his leg. Basically then one in his neck. And then he just falls down to the side and he's like, he basically can't move and he's having a hard time talking. He's like, what's happening? Which they can hear someone chuckling. He goes, and they're like, well, those toxins basically, Enko Sensei basically gave me really do work for paralyzing poisons. Neat. As they see who came out of basically from behind the tree, as it's a pink-haired, green-eyed, basically red battle dress. As Iruku goes, Sakura? Naruto is just blinking, and Dust just says, this is awkward. Which Naruto just nods, and says, yeah, it is. He says that mentally to Dust. Which, basically, Sakura was like, oh, hi Iruku-sensei. And she looks at Naruto and basically has a smirk and goes, interesting. Who are you? I never seen someone like you before. Which Naruto just blinking, tilts his head to his side. He was like, uh, Sakura-chan? As she just blinked and she goes, the only one who ever called me that was Naruto. As Naruto puts the knives to his side and basically he slowly goes towards the mask, and when he takes it off, all that purple green energy suddenly goes towards the mask as it, then the mask becomes an actual basically tattoo on Naruto's arm, forearm basically, whereas the mask and then basically two sides right next to it. As then Crow basically goes on top of Naruto's shoulder and cause. And Naruto just says, "Well, that's good to know." Which everyone's just blinking as what Dust say. It was like, Def basically made it where you basically take off the mask, it basically becomes a seal tattoo for you. So yeah, just want to let you guys know is basically Naruto's like, a lot to explain. But anyways, as then basically Sakura goes, Naruto, stop acting like you're an idiot. She basically looks at him with a glare that basically somehow it's different from her normal glare, which Naruto just blinking. And then he just sighs and he goes like, well, I mean, I am an idiot on a lot of things, but I'm smart on basically survival and basically street smarts. But, yeah, I know. Wait, how do you know I even had a mask? Which Iruka's just blinking, and then, he kind of thinks is she talking about his mask of like stupidity and, always being happy? She basically goes, quite simple, really. I mean, after you notice everything for a while, basically your tendencies, the villagers glaring at you, and now I recently know the reason why they hate you. Still not that hard, basically, to understand that you actually had a mask on the whole entire time and hide your true abilities. Which, Naruto was just blinking, and he goes, wait, you know about the QB no Kitsune still inside of me, and you're not afraid. And then he remembered what Dev said, and then all of a sudden he goes like, then he kind of realized, he goes, GG! I'm gonna kill you when I see you! As then that just makes everyone blink as an Ambu arrive as they heard him say that. As basically Yugao or Kat, he goes like, basically Uzumaki-san. I think he looks at her, she goes, why do you want to kill the Hokage? He goes, oh, I don't know. Maybe because he basically lied to me about he didn't know my parents? And the fact is, he knew who my father was? You know what? I don't care. I nearly died, and I was saved by the Shinigami. So you know what? I am not in the mood for anything today. It's just been one long day. Which basically, Iruka and Sakura goes, alright. Which then basically Sakura was like, oh, your father? I thought everyone knew. Which then basically everyone looks at Sakura, she goes, observation, and basically narrowing it down to only a few people. Anyone could do this by going to the Konan library and basically looking through the old ninja files. Well, taking the records in the library. Which then made everyone blink as Naruto goes like, I never thought of that. I could have found out who my mother was that way. Which Sakura nods. Which then Iruka just sighs. And, the Forbidden Scroll is taken, along with Mizuki to Anbu, torture and interrogation. As Sakura goes with Naruto and Iruka back to the Hokage. And in basically the Hokage's office, Hiruzen sighs and says, thank you, basically, Nico and Iruka and Naruto and Sakura. As before he can say anything, Naruto just looks at basically the Hokage and glaring at him. He goes like, actually, I don't think he'll call him Gigi right now. He goes, Saratobi, why you didn't tell me about my father? Which then he blinks. He goes, how do you know? He goes, basically because of the crystal ball. Which, basically, Hiruzen blinks and sighs. He goes, yes, I heard you say it. But how do you know? He goes, oh, quite simple. The Shimigami told me. Which, that makes her, basically, Hiruzen blink. He goes, huh? He goes, yeah. While I was dying on the tree, the Shimigami came to me, gave me an offer I couldn't refuse, so to speak. And what the form I took beforehand was the form he took. Well, before he showed his death god form. That was his original form before he became a god. Which they blinking at him as Hiruzen says, so what was he beforehand then? Oh, the Horseman of Apocalypse, Death. Which everyone says, huh? He goes, yeah, different pantheon. Turns out our world was recreated after it was destroyed. So a new pantheon created, and, we kind of just came to existence then. As that just makes everyone blink as Hiruzen just sighs. He was like, so we find out there's a world before ours, and our world was recreated through the destruction of that old world. Which Naruto seems like it. He said it was on a very tight, basically, schedule, so he may have basically just been rushing through some things. But in the end, when he was giving me this mask, he called me Namikaze Uzumaki Naruto. As Hiruzen's eyes widened. He goes, so you want to say anything, Sarutobi? As he just sighs and goes like, yes. You are finally showing your intelligence of what you know about the fourth Hokage, then. Yes, his name is Minato Namikaze, and he is your father. Before you even basically ask why he sealed the 9 tails within you, your father was a noble man. He could not ask anyone else if he could not basically do it himself. And basically, how could a father basically not have faith in their own child? With Naruto just basically blinking, he goes, I don't like it. I really don't. And I just need to think on this. But I'm still mad at you for not basically telling me. Which Hiruzen just nods, and then he looks at Sakura. He goes, now, Sakura Haruno, I'll need you to basically keep this S-class secret a secret. You cannot tell anyone this punishable by death. As then she rolls her eyes, she goes, yes, I know, Lord Hokage. I'm not an idiot. After all, my father basically would scoff at me if I was an idiot. Which, basically, that kind of makes Haruka and Hiruzen basically just blink. But then basically, whoever basically Sakura's canon father name is, basically such and such Haruno, insert, canon father's name here, Haruno, basically, I thought he was your father, Haruka says, which she just sighs and goes, I'm adopted. And this makes, basically, Hiruzen blink. And basically, he asks, if you were adopted, what was your old name? Or, name beforehand, if your parents named you. Which, she goes, well, after snooping around, I found basically my birth certificate, in a way. And my name was Akane? Which, basically, Hiruzen blinks. By the way, if that name is just, basically was used in something, and I'm, just using it. I'm not trying to steal it. I'm just, using the first name, basically the Kane part, and just, put it in the story. So, it's only going to be probably mentioned probably once, maybe. So, yeah. As Hiruzen basically, as I said, blinks again, and he goes, your name was Akane. She goes, yep. Found out something I didn't know about before graduation. And, well, even found out basically about my parents' little seal in the back of my neck. Kind of makes sense on the reason why I have two personalities. Which Naruto was like, huh? Two personalities? Which he goes, yes, Naruto. You see, I'm the personality that's the second one in control at the moment, while the other one is the fangirl mode, I like to call her, and I hate it. I hate her a lot. But due to the seal, I have two personalities, and the fangirl one's supposed to be mostly in control. But we've been working on our communications for a while, and basically, after we were told that, everything, on the truth and all, it kind of just, the fangirl kind of accepted it, and luckily she doesn't really care for she cares for the Chia, but at least she's not a massive fangirl. Which Naruto was like, bull. I call bull. Which basically, that just kind of makes her look at him. She goes, what? I don't believe it. Which, the second personality just nods in understanding. So, Iruka was like, so, who is your father? Then, she basically just says, well, for you to all understand this, besides of Kage, since he knows who's my father, you basically have to understand my origins. You see, how should I say this right? I am, technically speaking, have multiple DNAs within me. Well, I have basically Uzumaki DNA, Nara DNA, and Senju DNA, plus the main component that basically would be my biological father's DNA within me, since he's also the one that gave me part of his soul. Because, how can someone basically be alive without a soul, basically? Hiruzen's eyes, basically narrow, and then basically he just sighs, which Naruto's like, so, who is your father? She says, oh, only the greatest traitor to Konoha, Orochimaru. Which Iruka blinks, and blinks, and blinks. And then he just screams out, what? Which Naruto's just eyes widen, because he knows who Orochimaru is, as Hiruzen just sighs, and he goes like, so that's what happened to you, Kane. Danzo. So, basically, Naruto's like, wait, so you're Orochimaru's daughter? She goes, yep. Funny enough, due to the other DNAs mixed with me, I technically, didn't come out looking like him. So, she just shrugs. As Naruto's like, wait, doesn't that make us cousins? She goes, not really. Just Uzumaki and basically Senju and Naruto basically DNA was basically just part of my genetic, programming, so. Which Naruto was like, okay, I don't understand what that was or what you just said. She just sighs and just waves it off. So Hiruzen says, though, about this loyalty seal, she goes, oh, yeah. I get basically my interests in things that interest me, personality-wise, from my dad. If I get interested in something, I don't find anything other than what I basically care for important. Like, my parents want me to basically find the Uchiha interesting, and my fangirl side of me would say, what I'm about to say is wrong, but after a while, she agrees with me. Even basically finding about the loyalty seal and that she's basically the product of that. So, her kind of wanting to basically be loyal to Uchiha, not really there no more. Which Naruto was just blinking. He's like, okay, cool. So, she basically goes on to explain how it even happened. When Naruto basically says this, okay, so you find me more interesting than the Uchiha Teme, and your parents didn't like that, so they went to the one-eye cripple? Mummy? Mummy. Okay, yeah. Mummy. And basically... Oh, yeah, by the way, please don't take offense to the whole entire one eye, basically, you know, CR, basically part. I've basically been seeing two main, basically, what it's Naruto, and they call they call it Danzo that, and it just kind of basically came into my mind and basically blurred it out, but it's just Mummy, one eye Mummy. Yeah. So, yeah, I did not mean to say that, just blur it out, and that won't happen again. But anyways. Okay, so the one-eye mummy basically had a seal put on me to where I would follow my parents' commands, and basically, they want me to basically go out to do Chiha. It's an annoyance because he's not really that special. Honestly, he's just, well, spoiled brat. In which Naruto actually cannot believe it and actually grins. Because finally someone sees what I see. So Hiruzen just sighs and he just basically looks at Ruka, which Ruka just nods. He goes, Naruto, take off your goggles. Which he's like, huh? As basically Sakura is smirking. As basically when Naruto, basically takes off his goggles, as Ruka basically then gives Naruto his headband, as his eyes widen, and he goes, wait, so you're telling me well, Ruka says, well, you didn't make basically solid clones, so, which he basically grins and hugs basically Ruka saying thank you, which everyone's having a chuckle because he's being oversight about it, so yeah. So, basically, then Hiruzen looks at Sakura. She basically looks at him. As then, basically, Hiruzen just says, so, what should I call you by? She basically just says, just call me Sakura Haruno. If you're wondering how I basically came to, basically still care for the Harunos. Because one, they raised me all their life and showed me general care, but they're also using me. Two, I can't really find anyone else to be my actual family since my actual dad doesn't really like Konoha. And three, I don't have the same views as him. So I'm planning to go see him. Which Hiruzen just nods slowly. Alright. So, he basically then says this. Alright. So, what are your skill sets, Sakura? She goes, well, ever since basically we found out about this, I've met Midarashi Anko, and basically my fangirl side of me basically took a liking to poisons, and basically, well, you can say kunais, or pointy objects, as Hiruzen and Iruka's eyes widen as he goes, so that was, yep, a simple basically paralyzing poison or toxin, whatever it's called, I basically was able to make. It was actually kind of easy since basically the fangirl on me didn't let herself out until we got it done right. And Hiruzen will nod to that. As then basically Sakura closes her eyes, and then basically fangirl Sakura comes in. She just sighs and goes up to Naruto, which he's like, huh? As then basically she hugs him. Which Naruto stiffens at this, and both, well, true Sakura, fangirl Sakura, kind of basically frown at this. So, Hiruzen just sighs, and Naruto just looks upset, as she's not even saying nothing, as Naruto doesn't know what to do. She goes, fangirl Sakura says, are you gonna hug me or not? Which he slowly puts her arms around her, and he doesn't know what to say. she just then says this. I don't want you to basically think I'm gonna look you anything different, Naruto Baka. I know basically you're not the fox. I'm not that basically stupid idiot no more. Due to basically my parents didn't want me to know the truth. So, don't worry. You're still Naruto to me. Got it? Which Naruto nods. And she goes, and then basically she looks, basically after Naruto, after letting go of the hug, she goes, anyways, what about the fox then since your new transformation? Which Naruto basically blinks and then grins. And basically he asks, so Dust, how can I summon him? Basically he just looked at basically Dust, but everyone's seen him look at Dust. But Dust is, just saying something. He goes, quite simple. Just pour in some of your basically chakra into a seal that you basically meant to create for summoning. This is basically the one thing you can do with, a familiar. That basically is not around magic. Yeah, does not basically go around magic. So yeah. So Naruto just smirks and touches the ground and basically pours in some chakra as some magical circle appears and then poofs. And then Naruto basically is waiting to see as the nine-tailed fox is there. As it's small, basically the same size of basically a medium-sized dog, but still, as basically Kurama's like, I hate you. Whereas Naruto smirks, he goes, how do you take that? Which everyone's just shocked by this, as Hiruzen goes, Naruto? How? Which Naruto just says, Shinigami said that basically the nine-tailed fox was going to become my familiar, so yeah. Which Hiruzen just blinking and just says, I'm getting too old for this. So after that, he just tells everyone to go home. On the way, though, he basically does send Kyuubi back to the seal, but on the way there, he says, so, do you basically want to get some money, basically, from missions, tomorrow, and then use what we get, basically, for clothing? Which, basically, Sakura's like, huh? He just sighs. It was the Shinigami said I needed to basically get rid of this, so I'm asking you for some help. Which Sakura wants to do her normal reaction, but then she stops and sighs and just says, can I think about it? Which he just nods very quickly, which he goes, of course. I mean, this is out of the blue, so I just wanted to know if you can help me. That's all. As she goes, I'll tell you basically when I get to school tomorrow. He goes, okay, thanks, Sakura, as then, he walks away. And Sakura just sighs, and she says, now I just have to keep this a secret from my parents. Great. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, sorry about that, I was just yawning. So, yeah. So, Sakura went home. She's basically talking to her, real self, and they're coming up with a way, basically, and to follow, basically, their father's, training schedule, and try to see if, basically, this failed experiment can actually make those Maki chains and the wood release. Yep, turns out Sakura was a failed experiment. So, but Orochimaru used it to make her become a child. Since basically the body had no soul, Orochimaru gave part of his soul to Sakura. So yeah. Anyways, when Naruto basically gets back to his home, he basically flops immediately onto basically the couch as Dust says the boss will basically come to him when the time is right and he'll basically show him basically things. So be basically ready. In which basically, yeah. It'll be like the next day. We all know how the next day goes with Naruto, doesn't the whole tire taking the picture and him had to basically meet Konohamaru. And like Ibisu. So I want to say that happens, you know, and then it's like the next. It is like the next day from that. I do have to wrap this up soon, so I'm just trying to make this at least 50, like an hour long. So yeah. So it's basically the day of where everyone gets picked for their teams. Naruto would ask Das. He goes, "So, how am I going to know basically when I'm ready for certain things?" Which Das just blinking and just kind of just says, Lord Death may be thinking of basically doing something for you to basically track to see something, and he's basically gonna find a merchant that may have survived basically the destruction of the old world, a demon and such, that you can basically give the souls of their, well, of those evil to them, well, to him, and get some new items or weapons. Which Naruto's blinking and he's like, huh, so I can use souls as currency with this guy? She goes, yes, because, well, not she, but, Dust says yes, because he eats souls. Which Naruto just blinks and he goes like, note to self, don't piss off that person. So yeah. So, he basically did went out with Sakura, though, the day before and got clothing. He basically went to a henge, though, and yeah. So his new outfit basically is, I would say, a black shirt, black pants, and black boots. And with basically I would say, a jacket that has red and orange. But it has the red Uzumaki symbol with orange wording saying basically, on it, Horseman of Death. Because I could just see Naruto doing that. And basically just have the mask at his side and walk away. Well, no, he would eat breakfast and then walk out of his apartment. Yeah, there we go. I'm yawning like crazy. Everyone, sorry about this. But yeah, so, on his way there, people are, looking at Naruto weirdly. Some basically glaring at him, and Naruto doesn't even care no more. Well, he doesn't even care no more because he's had to have it his whole entire life. So yeah. So, when he would get to the academy, he would sit down, and, I kind of see everything from there going to canon. It's just Sakura and Ino's little fight, where Sakura basically would, well, basically act like her old self, act like everyone how she knew against Naruto. Naruto would basically just sigh and look at her. And then Sakura just sighs and basically she sees the seat, right next to Naruto and just like sits down in it. She goes, "You're lucky I don't have to deal with much today, Baka." Which Naruto rolls his eyes and goes like, "Whatever. I'm just excited for today." Which she nods in agreement, which everyone's shocked to include Ino. And so, Asuka doesn't care, but yeah. So anyways, so after everyone's chatting and talking, Iruka does walk in, and he would say he's going to basically tell everyone who their teams are. So, after going through the list, they basically, have the same in canon. We do go to basically the Jonins who are there as Kakashi is there, as when they basically see Naruto, Kakashi goes like, huh, he's not wearing orange. Which basically, Hiruzen goes like, Kakashi, you want to be careful with this one, with Naruto. And Sakura. There are some things basically I cannot tell you yet, but the day basically Mizuki was basically captured, Naruto went through a transformation and nearly died. And there are some things I don't know yet, but I have a feeling he'll tell me. Which basically Kakashi looks at basically Hiruzen and sighs, says, "You're not gonna tell me, are you, that what he can go through?" Which Hiruzen nods no, and he goes, "Well, I'll just have to see about it then." So yeah. So after that, I don't think Naruto would basically try to get, Sasuke and play, as him. But yeah, no. So Naruto would just probably eat his, lunch at Ichiraku and run back to basically the school and wait for their sensei to come pick them up. Everything goes to canon, including Kakashi being 3 hours late and Naruto put up their racer. And, okay, I really do have to go soon, so... okay, so basically Kakashi still gets pranked saying, I don't like you. Naruto doesn't say his exact same thing in Sakura, would still play the role while Sasuke would, be Sasuke. Naruto's basically refusing. He goes like he would like to learn more about his clan and anything else about his father. And then basically he would like to basically learn how he can, learn all of his learn all of his capabilities and become the best ninja he is, so he can become a Kage. So yeah. So basically Kakashi goes, Fangirl, Avenger, and Mystery. I'm gonna love this team. So he tells them about the survival exercise, that's the true genin test, and it has a low, basically, passing rate. So yeah. So after that, basically, Sakura would ask Sasuke, basically, out with him and leave, and she would just sigh, basically, Sakura would just walk away. As Naruto basically just blinking, he was like, I started thinking about basically what to basically do, and basically should I even, listen to something. As Kakashi then came back as Sasuke got to the door, as he goes, oh yes, I almost forgot, don't eat, you'll puke. As then basically, he disappears. Sasuke scoffs at that and leaves, as Naruto just thinks to himself, breakfast is very important. I can't miss breakfast. And then he kind of realizes it's a trap. So yeah. So, after that, Naruto would, go to the train grounds and try to basically, learn how to summon out the scythes side. Because Dust said that he may be able to do it. So that he doesn't have to go into his Reaper form. He does this for hours on end and then fails. But he does go back trying to figure out it more. So, this is where we're going to leave it off, everyone. I do have to get going soon. And, yeah. And my eyes are kind of starting to basically get closing on me. So, this is the best place to stop. The whole entire, basically, bell test is going to happen in the next part. And basically also doing, part of the, wave mission. Maybe. So, yeah. Hey, guys. Have a nice day, night, wherever you are, and bye.